When you're getting food. Okay. Can you hear me? I c Am I loud? Oh my god, I did that. I did that. I hit the wrong button because I didn't see the video. So, here we are. Welcome to the spa. Don't we need to relax? Let me see why I'm getting this feedback. Okay. How's that? Can you hear me? Somebody say yes, they can hear me. Just type it in the box for me. Yes. Can you hear me? Just say yes, I can hear you. Okay, good. Welcome to the Spiritual Spa. It's been a whole month since we've been together, and I have missed you. I hope you've been doing good. So, of course, since we're at the spa, before we do our spa treatment, we want to get still, we want to relax. Yeah, we want to just get settled in. I want to thank my team for helping me. One day, y'all, I'm going to master technology, but that would not be today. So, what I want you to do is just sit back for a moment and just allow your eyelids to close. And we're going to get relaxed, undressed, so that we can do our spa treatment together, okay? So, just don't even send messages right now. Just get still and find your breath. Find your breath, your inhale and your exhale. Shake off the day. Yeah. And connect. Connect with your inhale and your exhale. Relax your face, relax your feet. You can hear me, so you don't need to see me. Just allow your eyelids to close and turn within. And we want to take a nice long inhale and a slow, complete exhale and relax. And allow this thought form to fill your mind. Hold it without word or sound. I am here to heal. I am here to heal. I am here to heal my heart. I am here to heal my mind. I am here to heal any imbalance in any area or arena of my life. I am here to heal. I am here to heal. And I ask for and open myself to receive the deepest level of healing available to me at this time. Again, find your inhale and your exhale. I am here to heal. Together, we take a long, deep inhale and just drop it. Trick or treat was a trick that I couldn't get to you at 7 o'clock. I really want to talk about this topic tonight because I think in the world that we live in today, it is so important. Removing the masks that we wear. We all wear masks. It's a way of being, it's a way of behaving, it's a way of presenting ourselves in the world. And we do it for a variety of reasons. Usually we wear a mask because it is a learned behavior. As children, there were certain things that we had to do in certain ways we learned the way to be so that we could be safe or acceptable or to receive the love that the other way reason that we wear masks is also we probably picked up in childhood as a defense mechanism, the way to keep people away from us, the way to um, allow ourselves to be accepted, the way that we made other people around us happy, um, defense mechanisms or protective devices. But then as adults, we often continue that behavior. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a problem with the sound, right? All right, let me see what I can do about that. How's that? Is that better? If I turn my sound up, sound is clear on my end. Yes, receiving and healing. Yes, no sound and frozen screen. Ooh. Sign out and sign back in. Oh, can I get back in? I don't know. You know what? Tomorrow's Halloween, so of course the witches and the goblins are all over. So listen, I'm gonna continue because if all else fails, you will get the recording, okay? You will get the link so that so ways that we walk around in life so that we can be accepted or receive love or keep ourselves safe. The problem with the mask is that it hides who we really are. It hides our true self. And when we adopt certain behaviors to keep the mask in place, it keeps us from getting what we really want. Now, there are some common masks that people wear. One is the people pleaser, that I have everything for everybody. I can fix it. I can do it. I can give to you. That is a common mask that people wear. And all the while inside, very often we're feeling unimportant or unloved or unacceptable. Another common mask is I'm helpless. I'm hopeless. I can't do it. I need everybody to do it for me. That's the mask of I need to be rescued. A lot of people wear it because as children, sometimes we didn't get the attention we needed unless something was wrong. So now as adults, we engage in the same behavior to get attention. Another mask that we wear is just bad behavior. Again, because as children, very often nobody paid attention showing up in school. So that's another mask that we wear. Then there are some attitudinal masks that we wear. The bully is a mask, okay? The know-it-all is a mask. These are all masks that we wear to keep ourselves safe, to defend ourselves, and very often they're learned behavior. And when we are not conscious that we're wearing a mask, what happens is we can lose touch with who we are. Now, most of us have a behavior that we engage in at work, and a behavior that we engage in at home, and a behavior that we engage in among our friends and our close family members. We're not talking about that because you cannot go to work in your pajamas with your rollers in your hair. There's a certain way that you are expected to present yourself. We're not talking about that. We're talking about behaviors that cover our inner truth, our inner being, the truth of who we are. It's a learned behavior, a defense mechanism, or a protective device. And very often we learned it in childhood. So, how do we deal with the mask? Well, the first thing you have to do is identify what the mask is. You have to really look at what you do and how you do it and ask yourself, is this who I am? Or am I trying to get something? Am I trying to hide something? Because we usually wear masks to keep ourselves from being vulnerable as we were as children. So we wear masks so that people don't see our vulnerabilities. We wear masks sometimes to gain social acceptance. Wear masks to hide our feelings. And people will hide happiness more than they will hide sadness, because sometimes they may not feel that they have a right to be happy. So they put on the mask of not being happy just so that everybody around them will stay comfortable. We wear masks sometimes to hide the truth. If we have a deep shame or a deep guilt, we'll wear a mask, a way of being, a way of behaving, so that people won't get to that shame or that guilt. We wear masks to hide fear. A lot of bullies are frightened out of their minds that they're going to be vulnerable or taken advantage of. So they wear that mask. Most of us wear masks to hide our sadness, our loneliness, our insecurities. We wear a mask. Sometimes we wear the mask of avoidance. We'll avoid people. Or we wear the mask of denial. Oh no, I didn't do that. I didn't say that. We'll wear the mask of aggression. To who we are. Who we are at the core of our being is love and joy and peace and connection and cooperation and compassion. And in this world, these are not the things that we want to show up with at the supermarket. So we want to take a look at how we be in the world, how we do what we do in the world, and whether or not that is really showing our authentic self, or are we wearing a mask? Let me take a question here. Let me put my good old eyeglasses on, my visual assistant. How y'all doing out there? Let me say hi to Rondell and Leanne, Loretta, Kimberly Seals, Dee Dee Chapman, Netta, Lakeisha Owens, Jennifer. Hi, how you doing? Let me get to a question. What is the purpose of being vulnerable? What are the steps and why is it necessary? Oh, I love this question. This is Amana. Thank you, Amana. What is the purpose of being vulnerable? It's being authentic. I'm not saying being a weak dish rag or a doormat. I'm saying being vulnerable, being open, being willing to be intimate, to really let people see and know who you are, to share your thoughts and your feelings so that people will know who you are and they won't fall in love with who you're not. When we are not vulnerable, when we have on a mask, we always have to remember who is intimacy. Into me, see me, and accept me, and know me, so that we can connect at a very deep level. Then she says, what are the steps? Just one step to being vulnerable. Tell the truth. Tell the truth about who you are, what you're up to, what you feel, what you want, what you know, what you think. Not to force it on anybody, but to just share, what it is that you're thinking or feeling in the appropriate way at the appropriate time. Now, you don't just throw your life and your heart and your mind open to everybody. You don't walk into the supermarket and start telling strangers your life story. But when you are in relationship or establishing relationship with somebody, you want to be intimate. You want to be authentic. You want to be vulnerable. And yes, sometimes people do take advantage of your vulnerabilities, but you are built to survive that. You are built to survive. And when your vulnerabilities are betrayed or taken advantage of, then you know, okay, now this is something I need to work in and what I need to work on. And what you need to work on are boundaries. Boundaries are what keep you safe when you're vulnerable. And why is it necessary? It's necessary to allow ourselves to be vulnerable, to live without the mask so that we can be authentic. It is so hard to try to keep up you forget who you're supposed to be. So you just have a consistent personality so that you can be the truth and the same wherever you are. So vulnerability is the way that we reveal our authentic self, the way we create authentic relationships, and the way that we protect ourselves when we're vulnerable is having clear boundaries. That's acceptable. That's not acceptable. I will do this. I won't do that. As opposed to the mask where you're everywhere for everybody, or you're hiding from everybody, or you're just putting yourself out there and not being who you are. Let me tell you why we don't want to wear masks. Let me tell you about the drawback of masks. Number one, masks mislead other people. And then when you wake up and you see how people are behaving and you take the mask off, now they're shocked and horrified. And then they want to make you wrong when you misled them in the first place. If you don't want to always be there for somebody, then don't start being there. Have a strong no. A strong no will also protect you when you're vulnerable. The other reason masks are a drawback is because they frighten people. They don't know what to expect. They don't know who you are. They don't know if something's wrong with you up here, in here, or if you're just off the deep end altogether. Okay. The other reason that we masks are such a drawback is because they cause responses that aren't what we really want. If you are always there, if you are always lending the money, doing the work, or if you're always helpless, broke, homeless, whatever it is, people will respond to you in ways that are not, that don't honor you. And eventually, those masks, they become a prison. And you try to be who you're always acting like instead of being who you really are. And people don't know how to respond to that. People like to know what you're up to. So, yes, we learn to wear masks, many of us as children. Some of us wear masks as adults because I always get letters about people at work and people, negative people in my family and negative people all around me. Well, take the mask off and let them know this is simply unacceptable. And if this is how you're going to behave, we can't interact. That's called a boundary. And then tell them whatever it is that has been offensive or whatever it is that has hurt you. Don't wear a mask, meaning let Uncle Freitas act like a fool because that's how Uncle Freitas is. Don't we say that? No, you know how they are. You can't say nothing to them. Well, I'm going to say something and I'm going to let them know what I need, what I know, what I feel, what I desire. We couldn't do it as children, but note to file. Take this finger, put it here, note to file. You're not a child. You don't have to keep responding today like you did when you were 7 to please mommy or to please daddy or to stop the fighting or to get what you needed or what you wanted. You don't have to do it today. So you can make another choice. You can take off that mask, whatever it is. But the thing is to identify what your mask is. Most people just want to take the mask off. Well, that's a good thing to do. But before you can take the mask off, you really want to identify the purpose that the mask served in the first place. Because if you don't know why you put it on, you're opening yourself up to just put on another mask. And the way you do that, oh, let me not tell you. The way you're going to do that is going to be in your worksheet that you're going to get after this. Let me answer some more questions. All right, let me say hi to Ruby Robinson Little and Mila Smith and Karen McKenna and Lakeisha Owens, who missed me when I came to South Carolina, and Trista. Hi there. Just want you to know I don't want to be talking Brittany and Harriet and Ty Shay and Latonas. I don't want to just be talking and not interacting with you, but I'm going to a question, okay? Ebony. Hi, Ebony. I feel like I wear a mask 24/7. Some of us do. I feel like I lost myself. That is the key. Lost my everyone first and putting me last. Ebony, classic learned behavior. Very often, older children, the oldest child, and the middle child. They have to take care of the younger one. They have to live up to the older one if they're in the middle. Or the older child who's made responsible for the younger children, they are the ones that they always have to be on, always have to have it together, always have to be responsible. And that is the classic foundation for people pleasing. Go back, Ebony, and look at, when did I learn? Where did I learn? How did I learn that what's out there is more important than what's in here? Okay? It's a question. You'll get it on your worksheet, but just begin to retrace yourself. Don't traumatize yourself. Don't traumatize yourself, but go back and look at, where were you in the birth order? Were you oldest? Were you middle? Were you youngest? What did you have to do? Because younger children also often wear the mask of having to please. They want to be with their big brother or sister, so they have to behave a certain way. They want to get away from the middle one that's always picking on them. They have to behave a certain way. The other place that we get people pleasers very often is adult children of addicted parents. Very classic. So, Ebony, go back and look at, where did I learn, or how did I learn that they are more important than me? That what's out there is more important than what I feel in here. Now, don't go around blaming people and being upset with people. What we want to do is just get the information. Because what you may notice is you have the mask on and you engage in the behavior, and it's no longer necessary. But one of the reasons that we don't take our masks off is because we have trained people how to think about us, what to expect from us, and we feel if we take the mask off, they're going to reject us. They're going to leave us. They're not going to love us. So, Ebony, first go back and identify, where did you learn that? How did you learn it? Who taught it to you? And then you got to start doing the work to ask yourself, is it still necessary? What do I get out of being this way? What do I get out of behaving this way? And very important, what do I miss by being this way? What do I miss? So, hey there, let me see who's here. Jamani, I used to always use my voice that my brother wants, dictated the environment. Okay, what my brother wanted, dictated the environment. Yes. So you learn to, how that's serving you today. That just means to take a breath. And before you make somebody else first, ask yourself, what am I really going for here? Am I trying to get love? Am I trying to get acceptance? Am I trying to make somebody happy? And do I really want it from this person at this time in this way? So this self-examination is so important. Can I tell you something? I was trying to have a special surprise for y'all today, but it just didn't work out. I had the blessed opportunity to go to the Tyler Perry studio opening. And there at the Tyler Perry studio opening, I mean, everybody who was anybody that you would want to know about was there. And some people you didn't know was there too. I'm just so happy for him, but that's a whole nother story. So there I am walking across the floor, and I hear Miss Van Zant. Now, whenever anybody calls me Miss Van Zant, I know it's because they can't say my name. And I turn around and he says to me, you know I can't say your first name. Hear me what I'm telling you. I'm standing there, and guess who's talking to me? Denzel freaking Washington. Okay. And I'm trying to be cool. Denzel Washington says to me, Miss Van Zandt, you know I can't say your name. Denzel, you can call me anything you want to. You can call me anything but Trump. But I'm not going to have that conversation either. So I say, how are you? And we start talking. Hear what he says to me. He says, first of all, he watches Fix My Life. Okay? Just throw me down on the floor, pull my dress right up over my head. Denzel Washington watches Fix My Life. Okay? I can't imagine Denzel Washington watching television. But anyway, he says to me, When I turned 60, I locked myself in a room for 3 days because I knew I was not going to be able to make the next 60 the way I had made the last 60. He said, I had to look at myself because I always have to walk around like this or whatever it is that I'm playing. I had to get back in touch with myself. Can you hear me? Denzel freaking Washington. Okay. And then he goes on to say, and many of the things that you ask people on your show, I had to ask myself. I'm telling you, pull my dress right up over my head. Okay, and let my panties show. Now, if Denzel Washington has to do self-examination to really look at who he is, where he is, what he's feeling, what he's doing, what about us? Okay. And we would think he has everything, he has the world. Self-examination. And that's what is required to remove your mask. You got to look at yourself and you've got to ask yourself, why am I doing this? What am I getting out of it? Is this really who I am? Or have I lost myself in the mask? Let me go back. I want to thank all the people that paid attention and sent their questions in advance to Spiritual Spa questions. Okay. Now, so Cassandra, now that you know you have these masks, but don't want to get rid of some of them because you feel they're really not covering up the real you, well, then it's not a mask, beloved. It's not a mask if it's not covering up the real you. We're talking about the behaviors and the ways of being and the protective device, defense mechanisms that cover up the real you. We're not talking about the mask you wear to work when you have to be a lawyer and walk around and you can't cuss your boss out or you can't spit on the subordinates. We're not talking about that. Even if there's a mask, can the mask just be an extra layer to protect yourself? That's what a mask is. That's what a mask is. It protects you. And if it's the real you, versus mask. We all have an authentic identity, okay? Who we are, how we show up in the room, how we show up in the world, how we express ourselves, how we speak for ourselves. That's our identity. And that identity includes what matters to us, what we value, what we stand for, what we live for in the world. And every single thing we do is attached to that identity. Okay? I am Iyanla, great mother. I am a teacher. That's what I am. I am a teacher. The fact that I do television, the fact that I write books, well, I write books because I'm teaching the curriculum that I want to share with the world. But the fact that I do television, the fact that I put on hair and go to the Tyler Perry opening, that's not who I am. That's what I look like. That may be how I show up. But even at the Tyler Perry opening, I was teaching. Teaching people. I wear makeup on stage, but I'm still Iyanla. You know, I don't wear makeup at home. If you come to my house, you will be horrified. And I don't wear makeup to make, I wear makeup because it's an accepted part of the practice. It is not my identity. I don't. The mask is, this is how I am, when it's really not. The mask is a behavior or a way of being or how we speak, what we do. For example, somebody who knows everything all the time. Now, they may be highly educated. The question is, are they always making you wrong in order to make themselves feel right? Always having to have the last word. That's a mask. That could be very well hiding an insecurity. So, Cassandra, is it okay to mask up at certain times? Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, sometimes when my grandchildren say things to me that horrify me, I put the mask on because I want them to be able to talk to me. I want them to share with me. But in my mind, while they're telling me certain things, I'm calculating what do I need to teach them. Because these youngins, they got some very strange ideas that I don't know nothing about. So I wear a poker face and I look. Inside, I'm screaming. Okay? I'm like, you got to be out of your mind. But the mask. So, yes, it is okay in those moments. But they also know that when I come back, I'm coming to teach because I'm a teacher. Okay? This is how you can tell Cassandra and everybody else whether how you're being it to mislead other people. It's a mask. If you do it to hide something, not that you got to be telling your personal business all over, but to hide something you've done, something you feel, something you want, something you're afraid of. If you wear it to hide something, it's a mask. And if you wear it to control other people, it's a mask. Okay? Let me tell you a classic mask. The mask of people won't say things to you because they're afraid to upset you. Either you'll break down and cry or you'll act out like a park ape. Okay? And people, no, you can't say that to them. That's going to break their heart. That's going to make them mad. That chances are you're wearing a mask of acting out, acting up, or breaking down so that people won't tell you the truth. Look at your aversion to knowing the truth. Look at what you learned about truth. I want to go back again to children of alcoholic, adult children of alcoholic or addicted parents. These were the ones where all hell was breaking loose at home and they had to go to school every day. Listen, David makes man on OWN every Wednesday. This is a kid that lives in one of the roughest parts of Florida who leaves his house one way, gets on the bus, and goes to an expensive or an elite private school. He's wearing a mask, and his mask is cracking. Let me say hi to Nisha, Angela, Mila, Nikia. Uh, I do that in front of my mother. I wear masks because I'm always afraid to disappoint her. Good for you, beloved. But love her enough to tell her the truth. Disappointment ain't never killed nobody. People die from a lot of stuff, but disappointment ain't one of them. And that means that you're robbing your mother of an authentic relationship with you. Just tell her how you feel, what you need, what you think. And also, the quickest way to wear the mask, to eliminate a mask, is to announce it. It would sound something like this. You know, Ma, there's a lot of stuff I want to share with you, things I want to say to you, but I'm so afraid to disappoint you that I've been withholding a lot. Let me tell you something. That right there, that's going to break her heart that you don't feel you can talk to her. Announce the mask. I've been acting like everything is okay. I've been running around like I got it all together, but the truth is, I'm really going through. You don't say that to everybody, but you should have those people that you say it to. Okay? Let me get to another question because y'all were so good and sent them to me. Let me see. This is Jamie. Jamie. In a workplace full of drama and gossip. Oh, how does one be their authentic self without wearing a mask? It's hard not to wear a mask for protection. No, you don't wear no mask. You tell them when they come to gossip, I'm not the one. This is a gossip-free zone. You're talking to the wrong person. You have to tell them, I don't want to hear that. No, I don't gossip. That's authentic. I don't gossip. When somebody comes to me telling me something about somebody else, the first thing I say is, wait a minute, hold up. Have you said that to them? If you haven't said it to them, you cannot say it to me. Okay? Otherwise, we're tricking people into believing. Hear me. We're tricking people into believing that their behavior is acceptable and that we are okay with what they're doing instead of treating them to our authentic self. If you don't gossip, tell them don't bring it to me. If you don't do drama, say, wait a minute. What is the request? What are we asking for? I don't know what the situation is, but just tell people the truth. You don't have to engage in gossip. Gossip is the biggest, I don't want to say witchcraft, but it is. You know, I always have to do the babies, okay? Jamani. Hi, Jamani. At 20 feet, at 23, okay? I've got bras older than that. I feel that I am not in touch with my own emotions. I lost my brother on October 17th, 2019. This is 2 weeks ago. Of hurt, anger, sadness, guilt, and I buried the letter in my yard. But I still feel guilty for living. Survivor's remorse. Yeah, baby, you in grief. Even if you don't have to cry. Everybody who grieves doesn't cry. Everybody who grieves doesn't cry. Don't measure your grieving process by anyone else. Okay? My mom tells me I have nothing to be guilty about, but I can't shake it. Please help me, Mama Iyanla. Oh, my little Jamani. Listen, grief is an organic process. There are stages of grief, and guilt is one of them. Guilt is one of them. And 23, excuse me, at 23, I can imagine what it's like that you're alive and he isn't. I'm going to assume that he might have been a little younger than you. So, baby, give yourself at least a year. What I want to encourage you to do is get a journal and write. You did a good thing. You wrote that letter to God and you buried it. And if you got to bury one a day, one a week, one a month, two a day, you do that. But give yourself permission to grieve the way you grieve. What is it about I? Okay. Be where you are. Just be where you are, everybody. Just be where you are. Feel what you feel. Go through what you're going through. That is preferable to creating a mask. Feel good when you feel good. Feel sad when you feel sad. And don't feel guilty because you're feeling good or sad and somebody else is going through. Then you'll put on the mask. And that's inauthentic. I just go numb. People say that. Numb is not a feeling. So if you're numb, you're wearing the mask of avoidance or denial. So get your journal and write down, what is it that I don't want to see? What am I acting like I don't know? What am I trying to forget? Okay. Now, here's the thing. Other people's mask is not your mask. You know, sometimes people require that you act a certain way to make them feel and look a certain way. No, 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 no. Other people's mask is not your mask, and it's not your responsibility. So don't act like you don't know what you don't know. Now you can be there and support somebody, but don't have people make you act out of character. That's just not going to work. And I want to offer that to, who is this? Laura's writing the names. Bert. I lost someone dear to me because I was trying to let them remove their mask. Oh, backfired, and they thought I wanted to destroy them. Was I wrong? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now, their mask wasn't your responsibility, Bert. Your responsibility was to say to them what you really needed and wanted from them. And also to let them know, I see you. Do you know how important that is to say to people, I see you. I see you. I see your soft side. I see your hard side. I hear you. I hear you saying this, but what I feel is that. I see you. And I want to see more of the real you. So, Bert, I don't know what you did when you said, I was trying to let them remove their mask and everything backfired and they thought I wanted to destroy them. You're not responsible for what other people think. And maybe, Bert, it was just time for that relationship to end. Remember, a reason, a season, a lifetime. A reason, a season, a lifetime. Okay? So, Bert, you were not wrong. You're never wrong. Be where you are, feel what you feel, and know that If that relationship is important to that other person, you and them will fix it. It can be healed. Remember, I am here for healing. I am here for healing. See what my t-shirt says? My t-shirt says passion is a purpose is a passion, not a job. And some of us wear masks because we think it'll get us through to our purpose. No, matters to you. Let me see what's in the feed. I'm the second oldest of six, but the oldest girl, being born to a mother with disabilities, also learning how to navigate through the world. I struggle with acceptance, yet finding myself confident. Let me go to the bottom line. I do it because what? I feel like the mask has become a part of my identity. What should I do? Get clear. Get clear, beloved. I didn't get your name because it moved too quickly. Get clear about who you are. Yes, very often as children and also as adults, we want to be accepted, but that's about external validation. And the validation that you need, you have to give to yourself. If you're out there and you got a pencil, write this down. I know you all know, maybe you know that I am an EFT practitioner. It's a technology called tapping. And what tapping does is it moves energy in through your body so that places that we may be stuck, experiences that we may be stuck in, we can move that energy. If you have a copy of Get Over It, Get Over It, and Get Over It's coming out in paperback on November 5th, so please get your copy. But if you have a copy of Get Over It, I talk about tapping and Get Over It. But tapping is a beautiful tool for removing the mask. When you get up underneath that behavior or that way of being, and you say, I'm doing this because it's tapping as a way to move the energy of feeling invalidated or unimportant or unloved. It is a beautiful, beautiful technology that you can work with on yourself. So if you don't have Get Over It, or if you don't aren't clear about tapping, go to the Tapping Solution. It's an app. My friend Nick Ortner and his sister Jessica Ortner, they have an app, and it will guide you through how to tap energy out of your body. Okay, and you can get it on the Apple Store. What's it called? The iTunes Store or the Google Place. You all know me in technology, right? Go to the Tapping Solution, the Tapping, Tapping, the Tapping Solution, and it will help you speak out loud the things that you may be holding that keep the mask in place. Okay? Hey, Mrs. Hayton Mijon, okay? Tapping helped me much, yes. I have mentally challenged brother, and the tapping techniques have felt great. Google Pay, the tap, and it's free. It's free, people. I couldn't bring y'all Denzel Washington. I tried. I wanted him to tell you his story, but you can get the free tapping app, the Tapping Solution. Go to the iTunes Store. So let me kind of do a little summary. I hope to get to one more question. I will give you 9 extra minutes if you want to stay, since I messed up the technology, okay? Once, this is from Riff. Once you become aware of some of your masks, okay, because that's true. We do, husbands have masks, wife has masks, children have masks, friends have lovers. Okay, once you become aware of some of your masks and coping mechanisms, good word, Ruth, Riff, because that's what a mask is. It's a coping mechanism. And realize you don't want to use them anymore. How do you work to replace it with positive ways of dealing? Sometimes I feel like I need to relearn how to be human. Oh, listen, I'm giving you a high five. Most of us need to learn or relearn how to be human. My beloved Riff, if you don't have a journal, get one. And you have to answer this question: who am I? What matters to me? What do I value? How do I want to be in the world? Who am I? What matters to me? What do I value? And who do I want to be in the world? Riff, if you can answer those questions over and over and over until you get to the core, then you begin to identify the behaviors that don't reflect who you are. You get to identify the ways of being that don't demonstrate what you value. You get to create how you want to be in the world. And the only way to do it, you got to journal. You got to look at it. If you don't want to journal, do what Denzel did. Spend 3 days in the room in front of a mirror, really answering these questions. But you got to write the answers down somewhere, okay? And then if that doesn't work, come study with me. Innovisions Institute for Spiritual Development. I'll take you for 20 months and I'll help you learn and unlearn and relearn. Beautiful question. So do that. Who am I? What matters to me? What do I value? And how do I want to be in the world? And Riff, be sure to get the worksheet, because the worksheet, I'm going to take you through questions that are going to help you begin to identify where you wear the mask, how you wear the mask, what the mask is covering up, where the mask came from. So if you're on here, you will get the replay link and you will get the mask. Okay, it's 7:56. I'm gonna give you 9 more minutes. Okay. I've been through a lot of trauma in my life. I can only imagine the stored up negative energy I need to release. I have been writing on and off for years. The Tapping Solution, it's an app. You put it on your phone and they guide you through. And it's free. It's free. You, for a certain amount of time, it's free. And then you pay for it if you want to continue. It's like the Awakenings app. Do you have the Awakenings app, beloved? I wear masks to make it seem as if I'm not living the trauma of the relation. No, no, no. You are living it. Listen, the mask doesn't get rid of anything. It just covers it up. The mask doesn't make that stuff go away. It just suppresses it. And it begins to come out in some other way. The things that you do to hide the truth, they are simmering inside. You cannot eliminate that. And don't be as concerned about taking the mask off as understanding why you put the mask on in the first place. Okay? Don't, listen, beloveds, don't trick yourself out of the treat of living your authentic life. Don't do that. Your authentic self is where your power is. People that wear masks and they walk around and run around and doing this and doing that, they eventually become depleted. They get tired and then they engage in bad behavior. They get mean, they get bitter, they get resentful, they drink, they smoke happy flowers, even though it's illegal. They start smoking stuff and it's just terrible. Okay. So remember, mask. Let me do a little review in case people that obscures our identity, the truth of who we are, our authentic self, and what matters to us and what we value. The mask is a defense mechanism, it's a protective device, and more often than not, it is a learned behavior. And if you keep the mask on long enough, and like Riff said, some of us have several masks. We got a work mask, we got a home mask, we got a friend mask. If you keep the mask on long enough, not only will you lose touch with who you are, you may not even know, because some of us have been doing this stuff since childhood. And then there are certain behaviors. Well, there's certain behaviors that we engage in once we put the mask in. And those behaviors help us fit in or give us love or hide a secret or give us acceptability, whatever it is. Okay. Let me say hi to Tanisha and Udemy and Ty Shay Washington and Angela and Kimberly and Loretta and Alexandra. Hi. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that you've taken notes. And if you haven't, taking notes, and you're here, you will get the replay link and the worksheet. People, do the worksheet. I'm telling you, go to the Walmart or the Target or the Staples, get you one of them little 99-cent notebooks, get a colored one, or get a beautiful journal and write out. You know my saying, you put it to protect yourself, to defend yourself. And now it's become learned or habitual or unconscious. It's become unconscious, you know? So you don't want to just rip it off. You want to understand why you put it there in the first place and then take the steps to build what you need that the mask will no longer be necessary. Okay? Let me get another question here. April. April says, oh no, Kristen. Uh, oh, Kristen, this is beautiful. Listen, wait 1 second. Let me tell you this. I've become the mask. Love it. Okay? Powerful awareness, Kristen. Powerful awareness. Some people don't even know they got the mask on. You know that you have it on and it is not the real you. That is the first step toward healing. Let me celebrate. I'm going to celebrate Kristen. Yes, she has become the mask. That was intended to protect me. Now you know why you put it on. I feel locked in by the persona. Yes. Where were you been on the thing? I didn't, all I had to do was answer your question. I feel locked in by the persona that keeps me from real connections and opening my heart to love. I am tired. I want to be free. Okay? Oh my God. Beloved Kristen, get your journal. Who am I? Now you have something that many people don't have. You have the awareness of why you put the mask on. Now, what did you need to protect yourself from? Who did you need to protect yourself from? And is that danger still a threat to you today? And if it isn't, now you start tapping. I'm safe. I'm safe. I am here to heal. I'm safe in my body. I'm safe in my home. I'm safe in my mind. Go get the tapping solution and start tapping out whatever is underneath that mask. And the fear. If I don't wear these masks, what's going to happen? Write it out. Write it out. If I don't have the mask, people are going to see me. People are not going to like me. If I don't wear the mask, people will know this. Or whatever it is, write it out and then tap it out. I'm ready to release this. I'm ready to clear this. I'm ready to heal this. Go get the tapping solution. Go get your journal. Oh, Kristen, I'm so happy for you. You are halfway there. I'm so happy for you. Okay? Is this a statement? Yes. Somebody said, I'd rather be weird and authentic than fit in by covering up who I am. Me too. Again, I'm not talking about putting on makeup when you're going out or when you're going to work or dressing up to go to an evening dinner. Those are social acceptabilities. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about showing up in a room, in a relationship, in a place, being different than who you are. Here's a mask. Married people who say they're single when they're at the bar. That's a lie. And most masks are lies. Okay? The lies that we tell ourselves to keep ourselves safe. Those are masks. So it takes courage to show up as who we are. It takes courage to run the risk of being rejected. It takes courage. And so what? You don't want to be with people who don't want to be with who you really are. Let them go. Let them go. I remember when I first started working out here in the world and talking about spirituality, there were a lot of people that didn't want to hear anything I had to say because it wasn't traditional religion. But I didn't stop. I had to show up. I didn't experience spirit and God and religion the way I had been raised, and I wanted to share what I had learned. That took courage. And some of you out there have ways of being, when I first started doing this work, don't laugh at me, okay? Don't laugh. When I first started doing this work, really publicly, I wanted to be Marianne Williamson. I wanted to be so on point. And my friend told me, well, you ain't white bread. You ain't going to do it like she do it. And, I'm black. I'm talking all over the place. My Latin blood gets heated up and I'm be authentic. Treat yourself and the world to the truth of who you are. by just showing up. And we're not all the same, and we are different. We are different. But beloveds, remove the mask. Remove the mask. Show up in your fullness, in your glory. And anybody that can't take you as you are, you don't need to be with them. Just be. So you got to do the work. You got to identify why you put that mask on. You got to identify if the need is still there. And you got to get up under there. There may be some people you have to forgive, but most of all, forgive yourself for tricking the world into believing that you're not who you are. Trick or treat, beloved. Remove the mask. Yes. So, our treatment is ended. Know that you've got to do the work. We're going to send you the replay, and you can also get the worksheet, get your journal, go get your note. You can send them to me at Spirit Spa Questions. Spirit Spa Questions for this month. Now, don't be sending me everything. If you're going to send me a question about the mask, okay? I can't answer everything. All right? Now, let us redress ourselves, okay? Take a moment. Just get still. Find your inhale and your exhale. Settle in. Know that you have heard everything you need to hear. Know that you now have everything that you need. Give yourself permission to make the commitment to relax, to be, to discover the truth of who you are, to take off the mask, to meet yourself, to greet yourself. As one of our listeners said, to re-educate yourself just to be human. Yeah? Okay. Remember, you are here to heal. I am here to teach. We are here together. And in case nobody's told you that they love you today, I love you.